The co-creators of the Ninja Turtles love comic book artist Jack Kirby. He was known as the king of comics, but I think he was the king of lying. Jack Kirby comes across as a total liar in every interview I've read. It seems like he had a really active imagination. He was a storyteller, and I think he treated his own life story like a fable, a big fish story. Jack Kirby was only 5 feet 2 inches tall. He was short, and I think he had a complex where he lied a lot to compensate for his height. He would never be physically imposing, but he could whip up a legend about how tough he was. He could make up a story about his own life. He even made up a bunch of fake names. Jack Kirby went by a lot of names: Jack Curtis, Kurt Davis, Lance Kirby, Ted Gray, Charles Nicholas, and Fred Sandy. But his real name wasn't Jack Kirby, it was Jacob Kurtzberg. He was Jewish. Jack Kirby was 5'2" and Jewish. Jack Kirby was asked why he changed his Jewish last name, and he replied, "I wanted to be an American." It seems like Jack Kirby felt having a Jewish last name meant he was an American. The USA is a historically Christian country, and Jack Kirby acknowledged that Jewish people aren't historically American, just like Hindus or Muslims. Jack Kirby was born in America to immigrant parents, but he didn't feel like an American. And he was right. Being born in a stable doesn't make you a horse. Jack Kirby's parents were foreign Jewish immigrants to America, and Jack Kirby used over 5 fake names to try to fit in. But at 5'2", the only place you fit in is a 3rd grade classroom. But his last name wasn't the only fib he told. Jack Kirby told endless stories about his youth where he would fight 5 people at a time and win. He claimed he would go around knocking people out for bumping into him and fighting everyone. I'm sure he had a super hot girlfriend that went to a different school too. Totally believable. I bet his dad worked for Nintendo. Every artist I've ever known has weak, screwed up hands and arthritis and pain. They're not throwing any punches. Did anyone ever see these Jack Kirby fights? Did any victims ever speak up? Or are they all stories and trash talk? Jewish people have an affinity for storytelling. They exaggerate a lot, and some people call it lying. Telling tall tales is part of Jewish culture. They call it chutzpah, when you have the nerve to lie confidently. I could give you 6 million examples. Well, maybe a few 100,000. Jack Kirby claimed he could beat up a group of Nazis. He claimed he would knock out a group of communists. I claim he had Napoleon complex. It seems like all this tough talk is just cope. He's just compensating for his tiny stature, like a tiny Jewish chihuahua that barks at everything but has no bite. Does anyone remember that really short guy that got into a fight at a bagel shop? This is what Jack Kirby was probably like.
You want to step outside? Huh? I'm not standing, pal.
Jack Kirby also insisted that comics have more diversity, aka less white people. So he moved to a 90% white country and then claimed it was too white. Why do some Jewish people want to live around white people and they change their last names to blend in with white people, but then they try to create anti-white discourse? These are all anti-white books written by Jewish people. Immigrants and their children have no right to tell real Americans anything about what their culture, country, or comic books need. He's just like the comic book people today that demand more diversity in comic books. We need transgender people and Eskimos and amputees and people with vitiligo. Why are they like this? So who is Jack Kirby? He was a 5'2" Jewish immigrant with a vivid imagination. He was a great artist and a storyteller, and his own life story became a larger-than-life comic book tale. You could say Jack Kirby was a total liar who was good at drawing. I feel bad for Jack Kirby, Jacob Kurtzberg. He hated his own life so much that he made up a fake life story. Jack Kirby, my heart goes out to you.